Sleep is not merely a pause from activity. It is a profound, active period in which the brain engages in some of its most essential maintenance tasks. For seniors over 60, this nightly rhythm becomes increasingly important as the accumulation of years brings subtle wear on neurons and synapses, on the very networks that encode memory, thought, and consciousness. During sleep, the brain enters a state of dynamic repair, where damaged cells are repaired, connections are reinforced, and the delicate architecture of neural networks is stabilized. It is a time when energy is redirected from external interaction toward internal restoration, allowing processes that are difficult to accomplish during waking hours to unfold unimpeded. This natural repair is orchestrated in harmony with circadian rhythms, where hormonal signals, metabolic adjustments, and electrical brain patterns synchronize to optimize recovery and memory consolidation. The hippocampus, a central hub for forming and organizing memories, becomes particularly active in replaying and strengthening neural patterns that were formed during the day, creating more robust pathways that improve recall and learning. At the same time, the glymphatic system, the brain's waste removal network, accelerates its activity, clearing metabolic byproducts, damaged proteins, and neurotoxins that accumulate with age. This cleansing process is critical, for it allows neurons to function efficiently, reduces inflammation, and lays the groundwork for optimal cognitive performance the following day. Sleep also facilitates synaptic pruning, a selective process by which unnecessary or weak connections are removed, preserving the most relevant and efficient pathways, a mechanism that supports clarity, focus, and long-term memory retention. In seniors, this repair process can be subtly enhanced through nutritional and lifestyle choices, creating a fertile environment for the brain to rebuild and strengthen itself while at rest. It is during these hours that the brain demonstrates its remarkable plasticity, the ability to adapt, reorganize, and heal even after decades of life experience. Awareness of this natural cycle fosters a deeper respect for sleep as a biological necessity rather than a passive state, highlighting the interdependence of rest, nutrition, and cognitive health. As the night progresses, waves of slow and rapid brain activity alternate in a rhythm that guides repair, restoration, and memory consolidation in a precisely timed sequence. This rhythm ensures that the neural architecture is not only preserved, but optimized, reinforcing the brain's ability to store new information, integrate experiences, and maintain flexibility in thought. For seniors, embracing this period of nightly repair becomes an act of intentional care, a recognition that the body and mind possess self-healing capacities that respond to proper rest, nourishment, and attentiveness. Each night, the brain undertakes a journey of rejuvenation, subtly repairing, reconnecting, and strengthening the networks that support memory, learning, and cognitive resilience, demonstrating that even in later years, the mind is capable of renewal and adaptation. Among the most remarkable ways to support the aging brain is through the careful selection of foods that nourish its delicate structures, and antioxidant-rich fruits are among the most potent allies in this endeavor. For seniors over 60, neurons face ongoing challenges from oxidative stress, a natural byproduct of metabolism that accumulates over decades and gradually weakens cellular structures. Antioxidants, abundant in certain fruits, act as protectors, neutralizing harmful free radicals before they can damage DNA, cell membranes, and synaptic connections. These compounds, including flavonoids, polyphenols, and vitamin C, are able to cross the blood-brain barrier and engage directly with neural tissue, supporting both the preservation of existing cells and the maintenance of communication pathways that underlie memory, learning, and cognition. Consuming these fruits regularly provides a subtle but profound intervention. It reinforces the resilience of neurons, reducing the wear and tear that can manifest as forgetfulness, mental fatigue, or slower cognitive processing. Beyond their protective role, these compounds actively encourage synaptic plasticity, the brain's capacity to form new connections and adapt to new information. This adaptability is critical for maintaining memory function, problem-solving abilities, and emotional regulation as we age, and it demonstrates that nutrition is not a passive support, but an active participant in neural health. The color, flavor, and composition of these fruits are indicators of their biochemical richness. Deep blue, purple, and red fruits, for example, tend to contain higher concentrations of flavonoids that target inflammation and oxidative damage specifically within the brain. By incorporating these foods into evening routines, seniors may enhance the restorative processes that occur during sleep as the body and mind work together to consolidate memory, repair cells, and prepare for a new day of learning and engagement. The effect is cumulative. Repeated, consistent intake over weeks and months builds a protective layer around neural networks, allowing the brain to respond more efficiently to daily demands and to recover from the stresses of aging more effectively. Scientific studies increasingly highlight the link between these compounds and improvements in cognition, demonstrating measurable benefits in memory retention, attention span, and overall mental clarity. Yet beyond measurable outcomes, there is a contemplative quality to this practice, a recognition that simple dietary choices carry profound implications for the mind, reflecting a philosophy in which nourishment is intimately tied to mental vitality. Each bite becomes an act of care, an investment in the long-term function and resilience of the brain, reminding seniors that their cognitive health is not solely a matter of genetics or circumstance, but is responsive to daily habits, attentiveness, and the natural gifts provided by the foods we consume. By choosing antioxidant-rich fruits, seniors are not only protecting their neurons from damage, but actively cultivating an environment in which new connections can flourish, memory can be strengthened, and the mind can maintain its vibrancy and clarity well into later life, demonstrating that nutrition and cognition are inseparably intertwined, and that thoughtful, consistent dietary practices hold the power to sustain the brain's remarkable capabilities. Beyond the protective power of antioxidants, certain fruits offer compounds that actively promote the growth, repair, and resilience of neurons, a process that is increasingly critical as we age. In seniors over 60, low-grade chronic inflammation can subtly impair cognitive function, interfering with memory, focus, and the overall efficiency of neural networks. Anti-inflammatory compounds present in specific fruits help to counteract these effects, calming the subtle cellular stress that accumulates over decades of life and reducing the chemical signals that can damage delicate brain tissue. At the same time, these fruits contain neurotrophic factors, or compounds that stimulate the production of endogenous neurotrophins, molecules that guide the growth, survival, and differentiation of neurons. These signals encourage the formation of new synapses, strengthen existing connections, and help maintain the plasticity necessary for learning and memory consolidation. By integrating such fruits into a daily routine, seniors provide their brains with both protective and restorative support, creating conditions in which neurons can repair themselves more efficiently while continuing to communicate with precision and speed. The interplay of anti-inflammatory and neurotrophic actions is particularly fascinating, illustrating how natural foods can influence the very mechanisms that sustain thought, recall, and emotional regulation. Compounds such as flavonoids, anthocyanins, and certain vitamins act at the molecular level, modulating inflammatory pathways while simultaneously supporting neurogenesis and synaptic plasticity. The results are not always immediately perceptible, but manifest subtly over weeks, months, and years as improved memory retention, sharper focus, and enhanced cognitive resilience. Scientific investigations increasingly support these effects, demonstrating that seniors who consume such nutrient-rich fruits regularly show measurable improvements in brain function, including enhanced verbal recall, faster processing speed, and greater capacity for learning new information.
Yet the significance of this practice extends beyond data and measurable outcomes. It represents a contemplative engagement with the body and mind, an acknowledgement that thoughtful dietary choices can serve as tools for self-care, mental preservation, and empowerment. Each fruit consumed becomes a gesture of intentionality, a recognition that the aging brain remains responsive, adaptable, and capable of renewal when provided with the right nutrients. This understanding fosters mindfulness, patience, and curiosity about the intricate processes that govern cognition and memory. The fruits that carry anti-inflammatory and neurotrophic properties do more than nourish. They signal to the brain that repair is possible, that growth can continue, and that the effects of aging can be modulated through conscious choices. Seniors who embrace these practices participate actively in the maintenance of their own cognitive health, cultivating an environment in which memory traces are reinforced, damaged pathways are repaired, and the mind retains its vibrancy, flexibility, and resilience. By appreciating and utilizing the anti-inflammatory and neurotrophic effects of these fruits, older adults engage in a subtle yet profound form of self-directed brain care, aligning nutrition, lifestyle, and natural restorative processes in a harmonious rhythm that nurtures mental clarity, memory, and overall cognitive well-being.
The choices we make about what we consume carry profound implications, particularly for seniors seeking to preserve cognitive health and memory after 60. Eating is not merely an act of sustenance, it is an opportunity to engage with the biology of the brain, to participate actively in its maintenance, repair, and resilience. Mindful dietary choices, especially those that include fruits rich in antioxidants, anti-inflammatory compounds, and neurotrophic promoting molecules, empower the brain to thrive, reinforcing neural networks and supporting the intricate processes that underlie memory, learning, and mental clarity. Each bite becomes an act of intentional care, a deliberate intervention that communicates to the neurons, the synapses, and the supporting glial cells that their function is valued, that their repair and adaptability matter, and that the body's innate capacities for restoration are worthy of attention. Over time, these consistent, mindful choices create an environment in which cognitive resilience flourishes, synapses are strengthened, and the subtle degradations that accompany aging are slowed or mitigated. The rhythm of daily eating, when aligned with knowledge of how the brain repairs itself during sleep, allows nutrients to reach the areas where they are most needed at the most opportune times. Seniors who integrate these fruits into evening routines amplify the brain's natural restorative processes, enhancing memory consolidation, waste clearance, and synaptic strengthening. The practice of mindful consumption also fosters a deeper awareness of the relationship between behavior and biology, highlighting the interdependence of lifestyle, nutrition, and cognitive function. It transforms eating into a reflective, almost meditative practice where each choice carries significance beyond immediate satiety, extending into the realm of long-term mental vitality. This approach emphasizes patience, consistency, and attentiveness, teaching that the effects of nutrition are cumulative, observable not in a single meal, but across weeks, months, and years of careful habit. Mindful dietary choices reinforce the notion that seniors remain active participants in their health, capable of influencing the trajectory of memory retention, neural repair, and overall cognitive performance. It instills a sense of agency and empowerment, demonstrating that even in later life, the mind is responsive, adaptable, and capable of improvement when supported by proper nutrients. Beyond the biochemical impact, this practice nurtures a philosophical understanding of health as an ongoing dialogue between intention and biology, a recognition that the choices we make each day, what we eat, when we eat, and how we attend to our bodies, shape the efficiency and resilience of the brain.
By consistently selecting fruits that support antioxidant defense, reduce inflammation, promote neurotrophic activity, and aid waste clearance, seniors cultivate a comprehensive, sustainable strategy for cognitive health. This approach transforms simple dietary acts into rituals of care, reflection, and empowerment, proving that even after 60, the brain's remarkable potential for repair, adaptation, and memory preservation can be actively nurtured through mindful, consistent, and scientifically informed choices. Imagine the quiet hours of the night, when the world sleeps and the mind drifts into a landscape of dreams, a time when the body engages in repair, restoration, and renewal. For those over 60, these hours are not only moments of rest, but opportunities for the brain to rejuvenate, to strengthen memory, and to repair delicate neural connections that carry our thoughts, our experiences, and our sense of self. The foods we choose, especially the fruits we consume, hold the potential to amplify this natural repair, to support the intricate machinery of cognition while we rest. Among them are 3 fruits that have emerged through scientific exploration as powerful allies for seniors, nourishing the brain, enhancing memory, and reducing oxidative stress that accumulates over decades of living. The first of these fruits is rich in antioxidants and flavonoids that penetrate the blood-brain barrier, subtly protecting neurons from damage while encouraging synaptic plasticity, the very foundation of memory and learning. The second fruit contains compounds that regulate inflammation and promote the production of neurotrophic factors, signaling molecules that encourage the growth and repair of neural networks, ensuring that the communication between brain cells remains swift, precise, and resilient. The third fruit, abundant in essential vitamins and natural polyphenols, supports the clearance of cellular waste from the brain, a process that occurs most actively during sleep, allowing the mind to awake refreshed, alert, and capable of retaining new information. Beyond their biochemical properties, these fruits remind us of the profound link between nourishment and cognition, of how daily choices in diet can intersect with the natural rhythms of the body to maintain mental clarity, focus, and resilience. For seniors, understanding this connection is empowering. It transforms simple dietary acts into mindful practices of care and preservation, each bite a gentle affirmation of attention to one's own neurological health. These fruits also serve as catalysts for reflection, illustrating how the body's repair mechanisms operate in concert with nutrition, rest, and lifestyle, revealing the harmony between biological design and conscious choice. The interplay between antioxidants, anti-inflammatory compounds, and neurotrophic support demonstrates that the brain is not a static organ, but a dynamic, adaptive system, responsive to both internal and external influences. By integrating these fruits into an evening routine, seniors engage with their own biology in a deliberate way, fostering an environment in which neurons can repair, memory traces can be reinforced, and cognitive resilience can be maintained well into later life. Each fruit becomes a medium through which scientific insight meets daily habit, translating complex processes of neuroprotection, synaptic repair, and oxidative balance into tangible, accessible practices. The rhythm of consumption, aligned with the body's natural sleep cycles, highlights the importance of timing and mindfulness, emphasizing that brain health is not merely a matter of nutrients, but of awareness, routine, and respect for the intricate systems that sustain thought, memory, and consciousness. In exploring these 3 fruits, seniors are invited to witness the subtle, ongoing dialogue between biology and behavior, a reflection on how simple choices in diet, guided by understanding, can actively contribute to the preservation and enhancement of the mind, allowing the brain to repair, memories to solidify, and cognitive vitality to flourish night after night.